I can't choose. Hi guys, welcome to Nerd Bites, and this is going to be my spoiler review for Captain America Civil War. Before we begin, of course, there will be spoilers. I will be doing it to the back end of the review, so at the start you can listen to what my rough idea was, and then I'll give spoilers near the end. So I've just got back from seeing Captain America Civil War, and it delivers on everything that I wanted out of this film, and then some. It was an absolutely incredible experience at the cinema. Brilliant. The great thing about it is that at its heart, it's still a Captain America film. It's still based around his character and his relationship with Bucky, and they do it so well, and they balance those characters so well with all this massive cast that's there, including Tony Stark as well. Obviously, he's such a big character, and they balance it so well. You've got clear motivations. You know for each and every character why they're on each team and why they're opposing sides, and their good points, their bad points. The great thing about this film is that it tests on what you believe in with these characters. You flip-flop between ideals and between what people think of this entire universe. It's very political, it's very serious, the undertones of it are very, very well done. It still has your comedy moments, your really, really good moments, most of them Spider-Man related. He's awesome, definitely awesome. It does so well on being a follow-up to The Winter Soldier, but also being a follow-up to Age of Ultron. It's so well paced the way they've done this film. Honestly, it's paced brilliantly. It follows up everything really, really well with all the characters, every single one of them. With the serious note of it, and yes, you still have your jokes and your light moments and everything in these films, because you always do, but the fact is it's very different this time. It's a very different tone, because it's not the good guys going against the bad guys. It's friends versus friends, family versus family, and it's kind of like, it's like watching your family have a massive fight or a disagreement, or seeing your friends fight. It's unnerving and it's weird, and it's a lot more personal, and it really tugs more at the heartstrings, especially when they're so at odds with each other. Now here comes the spoiler bits. I'm going to be going in depth about a few bits and bobs here and there, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, go forward about 3 to 4 minutes and give my final verdict. Crossbones doesn't last long. He's literally the first scene when they're all working together. You've got Scarlet Witch, Falcon and Cap all work, and Black Widow all working together to stop Crossbones and his gang of thugs and everything. And he literally lasts the first fight scene, and that's it, boom, dead. And it's just another notch on the belt of why these Accords are here, because they've killed a few more people by accident. Black Panther. Awesome, really well done, absolutely brilliant performance by Chadwick Boseman, and again a clear motivation of why he's on Stark's team, because his dad dies in an explosion where they're framing, this Zemo guy is framing Winter Soldier, and that plays through the film. One of my only downsides is Martin Freeman's character, Everett Ross, was just a little bit underused, to be honest. He was cool, he was a cool character and everything, but considering how big of a talent he is and how amazing he is as an actor, it was just a very, very small role, but hopefully I'd like to see more of that in the future. Zemo, he's not what he is in the comics. In this, he's just a guy that's out for revenge because his family's been killed because of in something that happened in Sokovia, which is Age of Ultron. And again, it just plays into the film really, really quite well. He's he's a little bit tapped on, but it still works well with the film. I didn't feel like it was out of place necessarily. The airport scene is incredible. From what you see in the trailers, that's really like a fifth of it. It's incredible. The amount of mashups, it's like watching Smash Brothers. It's absolutely chaos. Everyone beating up everyone, using all the different powers back and forth. The brawl is absolutely phenomenal. Two of the greatest things about it is, one is Scott Lang becoming Giant Man at one point. That was absolutely incredible, really well put into it. And the second one, of course, is Spider-Man. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is incredible in this. Most of the laughs come from him. The way that he looks up to Tony Stark and everything, and his fighting through this entire airport scene was brilliant. The talking and all this kind of stuff, the way they kind of address it is brilliant. He's absolutely incredible, and honestly, he is the best Spider-Man I've ever seen on screen. He does that role to absolute justice. They do really well of developing Peter Parker and Tony Stark together. Stark goes to his house at some point and sees talks to Aunt May. Aunt May's hot, by the way, which is really weird, but she's smoking. And just him developing the character with Peter Parker, and then getting him to be on his side, and obviously later on he'll become an Avenger and stuff. It just really built well with these brand new characters, with the old characters. After the main fight, obviously Cap and Winter Soldier get away. They're off to try and stop Zemo. The rest of the Avengers, or the new Avengers, or basically all of our characters, basically majority of them, are imprisoned in that underwater layer things. Thunderbolt Ross and his bunch of people unbeknownst to Stark, he imprisons all of them, and that's kind of like where they stay until the very end, where Cap gets them out of right at the very end, which again was a pretty cool way of ending the film. The final fight between Winter Soldier, Cap versus Iron Man was really well done. Again, Zemo plays a part in it. He ends up showing Tony Stark the moment when his parents were killed by the Winter Soldier, and he just goes berserk. The fighting is absolutely incredible. Again, the fighting in this film is just as good as Winter Soldier. It's perfect, really well done. That final battle had so much emotion, so much drive. It was brilliantly done. Winter Soldier loses an arm. Stark rips his arm off. Absolutely brilliant. He's definitely going through it. And then you've got Cap just wailing on Iron Man. Eventually throws his shield into his chest and stops him, and that's the end of it. And then as soon as he's walking away, Stark saying, "That shield doesn't belong to you. My father made that." And then you see him just drop it and leave it. And you know, as far as you know, that's Cap done for the moment. Also, back to the airport scene quickly as well. War Machine, he gets damaged pretty bad. It was Vision that hits him by accident. He drops, and because of that, he's kind of like paralysed from the waist down. He's just getting his movement back, and Stark helps him near the end of the film. And you know, I think he will get his movement back eventually, but it shows again the damage of what can happen with things like this. The letter from Cap to Stark at the end was just really well done. It was monologued over the top, and then you've got the scenes of him breaking out the rest of the Avengers, and then the last thing you see is him going straight up to where Falcon was kept and just looking as if he's like dead at the camera, and the last line he says, "I'll be there," and then bang, and the title comes up. It's good. It's just a real cool way to end it. End credit scenes. There's two. They're both awesome. The first end credit scene was like a mid-credit scene. You've got Winter Soldier being put on ice again because he can't trust himself with his mind, because you know they can tap into him anytime and get him to assassinate people, which you know plays a part through the film. And because I can't trust my own mind, it's the only option we've got. He freezes himself, and you've got Black Panther and Cap there talking it out. And the last thing you see is it panning out, and they're in Wakanda, and that's where he's being put on ice. And you see this massive panther. Again, that was a cool way to say, right, this is where the characters are at the moment. The end credit scene right at the very end of the credits. I wasn't too sure what they were going to do. Would it be a Guardians build-up? Would it be a Thor build-up? Would it be Spider-Man? Would it be this? Would it be that? And it was a Spider-Man one, and it was just really cool. It was him back in his room, and he's giving him like a little wrist thing from Stark. His Aunt May comes in to make him feel better. He's going on about saying he got beat up. One of them was a big guy, you know. It was just, again, really well done, real good character building. Then Aunt May leaves, and he shines the light up onto the ceiling and sees a big Spider-Man logo, and then boom, it says Spider-Man will return. Awesome way to bring the character in, and I cannot wait for that solo film. Guys, overall, Captain America Civil War does it to absolute perfection. The characters are really well balanced. Every single person has a clear motivation. They're developed brilliantly. Even the new characters like Spider-Man are developed absolutely brilliantly. The story's paced well. It's still a Captain America film. It's as good as Winter Soldier. It's just as good as the Avengers film. It's so well done. The Russo brothers just have this kind of story absolutely in hand. And I cannot wait to see what they do with the Infinity War. And there's no way in hell that I am definitely giving it 5 stars. So that's what I thought of Captain America Civil War. What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments or send me an email. You can also find me in the various social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and moviepilot.com. Just type in Nerdbytes anywhere and I'm sure you'll find me. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share my videos. And of course, keep it nerdy.